I don't know what to say, but that was fucking embarrassing. I feel like I come here every week. Every week there's a new Miami Heat loss and a new Miami Heat game where I come out here, or in my mind, I just think that is fucking embarrassing. And it's been happening too much recently. And it happened again with the Celtics. 147 to 129 at home, gets smoked. Had positive momentum coming in from the Sixers game where we came back, won against a fully healthy Sixers team. And it all went to shit again. Again. We had the Pacers loss, we had the Cavs loss, we had the Spurs loss 2 weeks ago. Terrible. 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 And another terrible performance by the Miami Heat where they look like they should be selecting in the top 5. But they're still stuck in playing and they're still going to try their hearts out for some reason. Even though this team is complete shit. The Heat let up the most amount of points they've ever let up in Heat history in the first quarter tonight. They let up 53 points to the Celtics. The Celtics couldn't miss. But you also know why they couldn't miss? Because the Heat couldn't play fucking defense. They can't close out. They're late to their closeouts. People are wide open. They go to zone. Boston identifies it, and it's easy buckets from there. The Heat have lost, I believe now, 10 straight home games to the Boston Celtics. This is supposed to be a rivalry. This is supposed to be two teams built to always win, to be tough, to grit it out, go back to those LeBron days, go back to the KG days. This is supposed to be the new and the best rivalry in the 2010s. And with Jimmy Butler and Tatum and Brown, them going at it for almost 3 out of 4 Eastern Conference Finals. This is supposed to be something nice. No, the Celtics just see the Heat, walk them down, and that's it. Even, you remember the last game when the Heat were up a whole bunch of points and the Celtics just came back and walk them down? It's ever since 2023, man, the Celtics have been up while the Heats have been down. And it showed. This was completely an annihilation, embarrassing. The Heat didn't get a comeback. I loved the effort at the end with Davion Mitchell. And I don't even remember who else was out there. Pelle Larson aiding a comeback where they cut it to 13. Then the fourth quarter they end up cutting it to 9. Celtics called a timeout. It was wraps from there. Tatum's back. Triple-double. Jaylen Brown, 40 points. Can't do nothing. The Heat seemed like an incompetent team out there. They seemed like no matter what they did, the Celtics had an answer. They couldn't break it, and the Celtics had an answer. The Celtics were shooting lights out. They were shooting lights out. But towards the end of the game, because that little comeback, fake-ass comeback, whatever you want to call it, the Heat actually made more three-pointers that had a better three-point percentage. But that didn't matter. That doesn't matter when you allow 53 points in the first quarter. Then you go on to lose the second quarter by 3 points. They win the third quarter by 13, and they go on to lose the fourth quarter by 8. Doesn't matter. When you let Jaylen Brown have 20 first quarter points. It doesn't fucking matter. This was embarrassing. Embarrassing. A team prided on defense. A team that's known. They're supposed to be known for their defense, their tenacity, their ability to play hard. They didn't play hard in the first half. Their defense was terrible. They let a team score 147 points. The Heat letting a team score 147 points. If you told me that 3 years ago, while you're in a playoff push, that a team, the Boston Celtics, the rivalry team, scored 147 points, I would have said no way. I would have said no way, and then if it did happen, I would have just light the whole franchise on fire. That's what I would have said. But now it's become just normal. It's became a regular thing where the Heat just let these teams bounce all over them and outpace them when they're supposed to be the ones outpacing the other team. I think we just got to go back to setting screens, pick and roll, Bam and Tyler. And we didn't have Norman Powell this game, but I'm also tired, extremely tired of always saying, well, the Heat didn't have this guy this game. Oh, the Heat didn't have this guy this game. Maybe something will change with this guy. No, it's not. This whole season, it's been tagging and tag out between Tyler Hero and Norman Powell. Even Bam had this little stretch where he was out. Or Andrew Wiggins. It's just tag in, tag out. It's like a tag team match. Someone's always hurt. And I'm tired of it. These guys, Tyler Hero and Norman Powell, both want extensions. And this, that, and the third. Guess what? I hope both of you guys don't get it. I like Tyler Hero. His ability to score, I feel like he needs the ball in his hands more. Because he's the only one out there that could create offense for themselves. Bam, man, I know the strategy to stop Bam. You know what the strategy to stop Bam Adebayo is? I love Bam Adebayo. I think he's been good scoring this year. But guess what? You know what the strategy to start Bam Adebayo is? Let him make 3 threes in the beginning of the game, and he'll keep shooting them, and he'll miss them all. That's the same thing with Jaquez. Jaquez, how many times are you going to leave the ball short of the rim? How many times are you going to leave the ball short of the rim? He did fight a little bit in that comeback, but how many times are you going to leave the ball fucking short of the rim? My goodness, man. My goodness, man. Celtics just walked in the building and just took over. They didn't care. Tatum had fucking, 20 rebounds, 18 rebounds, 11 assists, 25 points. Sam Hauser couldn't miss. He was banging threes. They run him off 3-point line. He's banging mid-ranges. My goodness. Nemus Keita throwing Bam in a locker like good old Robert Williams, like Robert Williams back in the day. Derek White didn't do nothing. He's usually a heat killer. He didn't even do nothing. But Jaylen Brown did 43 points. 43.7 assists. And then Luka Garza. You know what really made me mad? The run with the Celtics happened in the first quarter, so you couldn't even really get into the game enough for it to make you mad. To where like it's a close game, you're into it, and then the run happens, and you're like, fuck. No. I didn't even get a chance to get into the game. The run happened. Now I was pissed. But you know what really made me mad? But the Heat actually got that 9 point, cut it to 9 points, the deficit. And then I'm out here calling out what the Celtics are about to do. The Heat either go to like a matchup zone or a zone. And then it's easily some, I don't even know who got put in the pick and roll or the pick and fade. Luka Garza, bang. Like I was like, okay, they're gonna go pick and fade here. Luka Garza's gonna be wide open on the arc, and he's gonna hit the three. Like I should not be able to call out what's about to happen, and defense not be able to stop it. It's ridiculous how this defense sucks. It truly is. Peyton Pritchard, he can't miss. Apparently, he had 4 threes tonight. Every time I looked, he was hitting some deep shit. Baylor Sharman, the accountant, he had 2 threes. I mean, this whole team felt like they were shooting all night. That's what it felt like. It just felt like it just continuous, just what I don't even know. It just felt annoying. It felt agonizing. It felt stupid that this is happening right now. This team should not be this bad. But we've been saying this all season. We've been repeating the same shit all season. The team should not be this bad. The defense should not be this bad. They're going to get it together. The offense is actually not bad. They're scoring 130 points a game. And nothing's been fixed. There's been no adjustment. There's been no nothing. No nothing. You remember when the zone actually stopped the Celtics? You remember we played them in the Eastern Conference Finals? We're the 8 seed. The zone was getting stopped. The zone was putting the Celtics in hell. They used to put the Celtics in hell. Now they walk up the court and say, oh, they're in zone here. Boom, 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 boom. Couple passes, easy. Buckets. Sam Hauser in the corner threw buckets. My goodness, man. Bam started off hot and then he cooled down. He had 30 points. Davion Mitchell, I liked how he played this game. That was the only positive. Davion Mitchell played hard. Hit 5 of 10 threes. Pushing the pace. Trying to get the team back in it. And he did. Until it just wasn't enough. Tyler Hero had 18 points. Pelle Larsson had 18 points. Both played 40 minutes. Fontecchio played 5 minutes. Drew Smith played 4. So there's really only 2 bench players that played. Kalower with 13 minutes, 8 points. It was all right. I would like to see him play more. We're getting blown out. Why not just try Kalower a little bit out there more? You know how it is. It's tiring at this point. Jaime Hawkins had 30 minutes, 17 points. I like how he played too a little bit. How many times he can leave the ball short of the rim, Hawkins? I don't know. But Davion Mitchell and Hawkins are playing hard. Pelle Larsson always playing hard. But the rest of the team, man. And them on defense also is like, what the fuck are we doing? The Boston Celtics have officially swept the Miami Heat in the season series, and the Miami Heat have officially dropped to number 10, the very last playoff play-in spot there is. 4th in the division. Terrible. We're at an all-time low right now. They're 15 and a half game. So they're a half game behind the Magic for the 9th spot, and a half game behind the Hornets for the 8th spot, which is, I guess, where you want to be. We know the Heat aren't going to lose. You know, we know the Heat aren't going to just tank for the lottery pick. So just go with what we know they're going to do, and I hope they get the best chance at, hopefully, the Pistons, maybe, without Cade. Which would be through getting in the 7 and 8 spot, because as you know, the play-in, if you play, you 7 plays 8, you get, and if you lose, you get another game. But if you're in the 9 and 10 spot, you have to win 2 games to get into the playoffs. So at least 7 and 8 gets 2 cracks at it. That's where the Heat want to be. Ideally, I want to be in the top 5 of the fucking lottery. But that's not going to happen. So I believe the Heat won the season series against the Hornets. So, and that's a positive. The Raptors lost today. The Magic lost today. But the Heat also lost today in a smoke show. In a smoke show at home against your rival. Tom Brady sitting there. You got all the C's fans there. Here's what Spo had to say after the game.
Decent looks. There are yeah, like this is no. I don't even want to talk about the analytical part of it. I just the optics of it. This game felt different than the other games. Where maybe we just didn't bring that disposition. We brought a disposition. You have to tip your hat to the shot making that they had in this game. Jaylen Brown was making some high degree of difficulty shots. The 2 corner threes that he had, while we were pursuing, falling out of bounds. One in the first half, one in the second half on the baseline out of bounds. His pull-ups. We were in front of him, and then usually had a second guy with a rear view contest. But Hauser was making the pull-ups inside the 3. Keita hit one, inside the, outside the circle. JT, made a couple. They just made a high volume and high efficiency.
All right, they were making some tough shots. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, they were making some tough shots, but this guy's talking about the Sam Hauser. That happened at the end of the fourth quarter. Like that happened in the fourth quarter, man. The Heat were getting completely outshot. Not only the Celtics did make some good shots, they were getting outshot because their defense was not closing out properly. They were getting outshot because there's people wide open because the zone was not working. The Celtics were picking it apart. All right, I completely disagree with Eric Spoelstra on this one. The Heat defense was awful. It was putrid. It was terrible. Horrendous. Use any adjective to describe it. It sucked. And that was why they had great looks. And that's why they scored 147 points against us tonight. Not because they're just making tough shots. I mean, of course, it's a basketball game. They're going to make tough shots. Jaylen Brown, 43 points. He was on one. He's going to make some tough shots. But shooting over Tyler Hero. I mean, come on. Jeez. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Pelle Larsson couldn't even guard him. He was too small. That's why. It was the defense. It was the matchups. It was the zone. It was just terrible defense all around. Lack of effort. Once you get down 20 in the first quarter, it didn't come till the third quarter. And Celtics responded right back. Defense was off. It's not about optics and this and that and analytical aspect and blah, 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 blah. The Heat are stacking days in the wrong direction, Spo. And you got to do something about it. You got to do something about it. And if the Heat don't make the playoffs this year, I don't know what's going to happen. They're not going to fire Spo, of course. But something's got to change. It's got to be drastic. And he knows that he has to make the playoffs. He knows the expectation is the Heat to have a playoff streak and to make the playoffs every single year and give us a shot at beating the Pistons or the Celtics. Do we have a shot against either of those teams? No, but I'll still root for the Heat. Other than that, I got nothing for you. I'm just mad about this. The Heat got me sick. I don't feel good. My nose is running. I wasn't feeling like this before 7:30, but I think the Heat did this to me. I think the Heat did this. The Marlins made me happy, and then the Heat did this to me. The Heat should pay for this. Who do the Heat have next? Who do the Heat? I know who they have next. They have the Wizards on Saturday. So hopefully, if that's not a win, I don't know. The Wizards on Saturday and the Raptors Tuesday, then the Raptors again Thursday, and then the Wizards again next Friday. So we have a 4-3 game after we have this home game against the Wizards on Saturday. We have a 3-game road stretch to end the season, and then we end it at home against the Hawks. The Raptors and the Hawks, I think we're out of their range by now. We're about 3 games behind those teams, but those teams are for the 5 and 6 spot. So we're pretty much out of their range, but those are going to be important games for us to get out of the 10 and 9 spot, hopefully get into 8, 7, 8 spot, or however you want to look at it. Whether you want to lose, hopefully, and get into lottery, losing one of the 2 9 to 10 games, or do you want to go for what the Heat want, and that's make the play? I don't know. I don't even know what I want. I truly don't. I truly don't know if I want this team to root for them to make the playoffs because that's what they're going to try to do, or just root for them to make the lottery. I hate rooting for losses. I hate losses. I hate losses like this one. But they're going to keep coming if something doesn't happen, and I feel like the best shot is the lottery. But we still got 5 games left in the regular season before that, and a couple games of the play-in, maybe. Other than that, nothing. Bad Heat loss. 147 to 129. Terrible. Terrible.